Security guard fatally stabbed while on duty in Ocho Rios. St. Anne, Jamaica, a security guard was allegedly stabbed to death while on duty at a plaza in Ocho Rios, St. Anne on Monday. He has been identified as 21-year-old Kimani Grace of Lloyd's District in St. Thomas. Reports are that about 4 a.m. Monday, Grace was attacked and stabbed by a group of men while he was on duty at the plaza. It is alleged that the wounded man made an alarm to his superiors, but he reportedly succumbed to his injuries before he could be assisted. His body was later found with stab wounds. The St. Anne police are investigating. Double murder in Green Pond, St. James. Investigators attached to the Major Investigations Division are probing the shooting deaths of a teen and a man in Green Pond, St. James on Monday night. The deceased are 19-year-old O'Neil 1212, otherwise called CJ, unemployed of Bridgetown in Green Pond, and a man who is believed to be in his early 20s. The unidentified man is said to be a fair-complexioned, slim-built, and was wearing a pair of blue and yellow shorts. The police report that about 10 p.m., 1212 and the unidentified man were at a section of the Green Pond community called Sharon Hill when they were pounced upon by armed men who opened fire. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, they were discovered suffering from gunshot wounds. They were rushed to hospital where they were pronounced dead. 4 shots, 1 dead in Clarendon attack. Clarendon, Jamaica, one of 4 people who were shot and injured last night in Sandy Bay, Clarendon, died this morning. He has been identified as Keron Hansen, otherwise called Willie, a 25-year-old laborer of Iverness Drive in Sandy Bay. The 3 other gunshot victims remain hospitalized, the police said. Reports say about 8:30 p.m., the 4 were among other people standing at Hungry Town Square in Iverness Drive, drinking and having a conversation. The police said a white Toyota Axia motor car drove up and stopped. 4 men exited the motor car, brandished guns and opened fire at the men. Hansen and the other victims were shot in various parts of their bodies. All 4 were rushed to hospital where they were admitted and later died. Police have not yet established a motive for the attack. Bounty killer says he's still standing after association with Dudus led to US visa being cancelled. Bounty killer paused on Tuesday to wish a happy birthday to former Tivoli Garden strongman Christopher Dudus Coke, his musical association with whom he said resulted in his visa being revoked in 2010. Real dandies, salutes me h0t strong blessings fun blessings, Bounty wrote of the now incarcerated 53-year-old. Me nah sell out either. Them say me and Dudus a friend, so them cancel my visa. Well, what more can they do to me? That's all they could have done. Still standing man tough. It's a national holiday. Happy birthday to a real G Dudus, he added. Bounty's US visa was revoked in 2010, as were those of fellow dancehall DJs Sizzla, Beenie Man, Idonia, and Movado, months after the US government issued an extradition order for Coke on August 25, 2009, over alleged drugs and arms trafficking offenses committed in the United States. After the extradition request was made and months before the visa were cancelled, several artists, foremost amongst them reggae legend Bunny Wailer, had headed into recording studios to voice their support of Dudus, who was also known as Prezi or President. In 2009, Bunny Wailer had voiced the track Don't Touch the President, which portrayed Dunn as the modern-day Robin Hood, who was only set to do good in his neighborhood. Dudus is a man of peace who makes sure people in his Tivoli Gardens community don't commit crimes. Bunny Wailers was quoted as saying in defense of the song, adding that he penned it in order to warn the civil unrest that would take place in the West Kingston, resulting in him from being moved away from his people. They haven't even touched the president, and yet so many people have died, Bunny Wailer had said. At that time, Billboard magazine, in an April 2010 article titled Dancehall Artist Hit by US Visa Cancellation, noted that there had been unprecedented, hence mass cancellation of US visas Belonging to five popular Jamaica dancehall entertainers, which had led them to concern among the reggae community that is suffering because of a dispute between two countries arising from the refusal of then Prime Minister Bruce Golding's refusal to acquiesce the US demands for extradition of Dodos on drug and gun charges. The unexpected spike in annulments of the US visas belonging to Jamaican citizens is widely speculated to stem from an intestine dispute between two countries due to Golding's unwillingness to extradite Christopher Dodos Coke, who faces multiple drugs distribution and firearm trafficking charges in the US, Billboard had noted. Unlike Bunny Wailer, the dancehall artist had not recorded songs championing Coke's cause, but Mavado had appeared at West Kingston Jamboree 2009, an annual stage show which was staged by the Tivoli headquartered company, Presidential Clique, where peace between Vybz Kartel and himself were broken by Coke. Beanie Bounty and Sizzla had appeared on Dodo's charity show Champions in Action weeks before the US made the extradition request. The U.S. Embassy at the time had issued a directive to all airlines operating flights to the U.S. from Jamaica stating that the aforementioned artists were barred from boarding any U.S.-bound aircraft. At the time, the U.S. Embassy did not state the reason for the reservation but reissued Idonia and Mavado with visas sometime after. On June 22, 2010, Dodos, who had been on the run after the Jamaican government finally signed its extradition request on May 18 that year, was held by the police in the vicinity of Ferry on Mandela Highway, on the border of St. Andrew and St. Catherine in the company of Reverend Al Miller. The clergyman had said he was taking him to the U.S. Embassy in Ligani.